Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, Drink with James, episode 32. (2017) Drink with James, episode 32. It's my golden episode. I'm 32 years old. It's episode 32. This will never happen again. It is very special. Because of that, I'm wearing a special piece of clothing. You might be noticing that I have a new suit on. It's very nice of you to ask. It is Tom Brown. As you might notice from the, very subtle branding that he throws in here. I think it's very important for you guys to know that it's like I bought my dream car. Okay, I've wanted a Tom Brown suit for 6 years. Never been able to afford one. Still can't really afford one, but I downloaded this thing, Digit. Tim will throw it up here. If you guys don't have it, you should definitely get it. It's like this app that connects to your bank account and it automatically looks at your spending habits and it automatically saves money for you. So I use that app outside of my normal savings account, which you guys should definitely have. You should be socking that cash away to save up to be able to buy the suit. It took me like a year, saved a tiny bit of money every month, was able to go in, pull the trigger on it, felt really good. I know you guys are fashion people, you get it. You get what it's like to buy that first really expensive thing. This is the most expensive thing I've ever purchased outside of a camera, which was when I bought it, more of a work thing. So it was exciting and terrifying, and I didn't really sleep much that night, but then I got it and I feel good about it. And I hope in 2017 all of you get to buy, if you haven't already bought one of your dream things, I hope you get to find the success that you deserve, and I hope that you save some of your money along the way, and at the end of the year you get to buy something really special for yourself, because they say money can't buy happiness, but that is a fucking lie, because I am stoked wearing this suit and I'm incredibly happy. So, moving on, we're going to start answering some questions. So, passing of a year, everybody always wants to talk about new trends, what's new, what's old, what's happening, blah, blah, blah. So we're going to jump on a bandwagon and say, okay, what new trends 2017? I don't know. Okay? I honestly, I don't know. I can tell you what I hope happens. I hope that the quality of content and the thought behind it continues to increase. Even I scroll through my feed, and I follow a lot of y'all. You guys are great. I love you. I can scroll through the feed sometimes and get a little oh, really? It's kind of like the same photos over and over again. So I hope that in general, I think the influencers who are going to be successful are going to continue to push the envelope in the level of creativity and thoughtfulness that they put behind their content, whether that be their captions or the actual pieces that they're doing or the types of innovations that they're trying to incorporate. Are they using new cameras? Are they using new photographers, new methods? Are they going to start doing illustration? I don't know what you're going to do, but I hope you continue to push it, because there's the easy thing. There's always the easy thing to do, right? There's always just standing outside on the street and getting your photo taken. And a lot of times that works. That's what you need to do. But I hope that, if you're doing an outfit post, sometimes you think, well, instead of going on the street here, I have this jacket that looks, very 1950s, I'm going to go to the New York Public Library and shoot it there. I hope that you continue to try and push your content and make it feel more special, because as more influencers flood the market, if you're just, if you wake up and you have a photo of yourself in bed with the room service tray in front of you, I don't know if that is going to be enough in a year. I don't know if that's creative enough. Everybody can do that. If you're not bringing something special, something different, what we in business would call a defensible position. What can you do that other people can't do? If you don't have an answer to that, then you probably don't have a huge lifespan in this industry. So you have to keep being you, keep being interesting and creative. I hope that happens. A more micro kind of focused trend, I think that we will see a pretty big uptick in the quality of Instagram stories. I think that people will start viewing their Instagram story as a short film every day. Snapchat, I think, has a really great place to be this kind of off the cuff, I'm just talking, it's very natural, it's very of the moment. I think influencers will start to treat their Insta stories as these little short films. And why not? You know, if you are on a trip, let's say, and you shoot a bunch of footage through the day, and you can spend 30 minutes editing it into let's say it's a 1 minute movie that you cut into 6 10-second pieces and upload that as your Insta story that day. You know, that's different than just downloading all your Snapchats and publishing to Instagram, which we've told you time and time again is fucking boring, and stop doing it. So I think that would be. I think we'll see more of that. I think we'll see more high quality, beautiful work on Insta stories. Look, get a group of influencers together. They're talking about engagement, right? It's something that everybody's worried about. People's engagement is falling. Yeah, it's happening. You know, the algorithm changed things, certainly. I think people blame the algorithm a little too much for things. I think a natural part of aging, not just like, I'm not talking about like getting older, but like you have, you know, people have like an arc to their popularity, and as you're climbing, people are really, really into you. Now, if you've been showing them the same types of content for 2 years, do you think they like it as much? Like, think about your favorite song from 2015. How often do you listen to it? Probably not that often, right? Okay, so if somebody found your feed 2 years ago, fucking loved it, engaged with it every day, told their friends about it, or obsessed with it, and you're the same that you were 2 years ago, why are they going to like it? You know, they've already liked that type of photo 10 times. So, you know, I think influencers are quick to throw the algorithm under the bus and say, it's the algorithm's fault. The algorithm's screwing up my engagement. But if your engagement is falling and you have the same following and it's not the algorithm, then it's you. And I think there needs to be a little bit of a reckoning in our industry to say like, hey, maybe I could do better. Maybe it's not that, you know, the algorithm is totally out to get me and it's screwing me, but maybe you're just not doing enough. Maybe you need to change. Maybe people aren't connecting with your content as much. Maybe you're not trying as hard, you know? I think back to when you were growing, you know, when I was a young photographer trying to grow my following, I worked really, 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 really hard on it. And then when I got that following, I kind of didn't work quite as hard, you know, because you're not as hungry. I think there's some of that. So try and take a look at yourself, because you're not going to change the Instagram algorithm, okay? It's there to make money for the brand, and that's what it'll do. So you can complain all day. Instagram, end of the day, doesn't really care about you, and doesn't care that you're getting 500 less likes on a photo than you were a year ago. You used to gain 500 followers a day, now you're gaining 50. Like, they don't care. And you need to point that lens back at yourself and say, what can I do more? Because there are people with real followings who are growing incredibly quickly and who have massive engagement. And again, I know influencers will be like, that person's buying likes, they're buying comments, they're buying followers. Like, a lot of times they're not. It's just that like they're hitting on something that you're not. So like, turn that back on yourself and think about how you can do better, because you can always do better. So you could say like, okay, you're saying change, but you spent all of last year telling us be consistent. Let's continue to talk about music, right? Radiohead, one of the greatest bands of all time, incredibly consistent in their quality level, in the fact that they're pushing music forward. Not a single album sounds the same. Kanye West, none of his music sounds the same, album to album to album, but he is one of the most consistent artists of the last 15 years. It makes sense in an arc. People expect growth. If you're not growing, then, you know, what are you doing? You know, you can completely change your content, the way it looks. See, when I started shooting, I shot everything wide open, f1.4, f1.2, everything, you know? And then I started learning more, and I was like, oh, right, I shouldn't be doing that. I should be shooting at 5.6 or, you know, 9.0 in the day. I realized that I was young, I didn't know what the hell I was doing. Just because people fell in love with the photos that I was taking that looked a certain way doesn't mean that I wasn't able to grow. So you can be consistent while changing your content. And if you don't look back on your blog posts from 2 or 3 years ago and say like, oh wow, that's kind of embarrassing, like that's crazy, I used to do that, then I don't think you're changing fast enough. So this question comes from Couture Notebook. Check out the feed. It's beautiful. Lots of big ball gowns, motion, very lovely. I think you will have a hard time working with brands. I think it's hard to know on that feed. Here's the thing: your followers are trained to know that these aren't your photos. So if you want to start working with brands more, I do think that's 100% possible. You say that 10% of your content is original. If your original content is getting the kind of engagement that your non-original content is, then maybe start structuring that and say, okay, Monday, Wednesday, Fridays, I do original, or start with just every Monday I do original photos, and then in 2 months it's Monday, Friday, and then it's Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and then by the end of the year you're only posting one original photo a week. Eva Chen over at Instagram, formerly of Lucky, used to always say that you can train your audiences, but it takes a while. So your audience is trained to think of you as a curator. You can train them to think of you as a original content creator. It's just going to take a little bit of time, and if your goal is to work with more brands, I would encourage you to pursue that. Now, can you work with brands as a curator? I do think you can. I don't think you won't pull the same rates in that somebody would, but you have big reach, and that reach has value. Those are a lot of eyeballs that are interested in fashion and luxury and style and all these things. So, I could see you doing you could do a curation series for a brand, and have them sponsor it. I definitely think there are things you could do a la Pinterest. A lot of people are creating custom boards on Pinterest and things like that for brands. They're not creating that content. Their creation is in the curation. I do think you could do that, but don't expect the kind of prices and rates that you would get if it was your content.
What was your 2017 New Year's resolution?
2017 New Year's resolution. I don't have one. I think in a lot of ways, New Year's resolutions, I'm a goal-based person. I love setting goals. I'm constantly setting goals and failing to reach them, reaching them, and setting new goals. I also love alcohol, right? Here's a good example. I love drinking. I love going out to bars. I don't go out on Halloween, and I don't go out on St. Patrick's Day because it's fucking rookie night. It's amateur night at the Apollo. Nobody knows what they're doing. You got every asshole in the world out there clogging up your bars,